Welcome back, folks, to Yule Island multiplayer. Today we're gonna tackle the Queen of oh, it's already there. Queen of Will-o-the-wisps. So in this mission we have to kill a boss enemy. Let's take a look, see at our inventory. Now the fundamental key thing you need. Oh, by the way, I kept playing offline and on my time, so I just had to upgrade some of my equipment. I've got 2 more wands of healing. It's constant healing, as you can see, it's continuous. So this thing will keep me healthy. I have a wand that keeps me strengthened, it's continuous. And I've got some items here that will keep me healing. And this is trigger. So that's about it. I also farmed some experience, as you can see, by completing the missing messenger quest in Suslanger. So I went ahead and did some things. Now, what you need from this quest, for this quest, is a protection from fire. Now, the more effect and the more duration, the better, because it reduces the damage you take. Duh. And you're gonna need that, especially against the boss. So this is like borderline adequate. You need at least 12 effect, and with the duration, of course. So elemental magic is your friend here. Let's go ahead. Yes, I leveled up elemental magic for this purpose. So this quest is pretty much straightforward. I was not sure whether or not to make a guide about it, but first of all you need to deal with these enemies. You can go that way and face the tigers, but that's up to you. I'm not using Ipat weapons because there is nothing at this point that is worth using, showing and being relatable. Because this mission you probably most likely won't even bother to complete, because remember, this is a multiplayer game, so not every quest is meant to be completed solo, although it can be completed solo for sure. So you do not have to complete everything in this game, but you can do it once maybe, later when you're stronger. This quest is not easy because there is no stealth here, okay? Now the undeads will spot you by range, and so will Will-o-the-wisps, and Will-o-the-wisp also aggro to magic.
Whatever you say. I agree.
So you can see how much useless a guide for this quest is. All I can do is show you what the quest is all about and what are the best practices you can take, and that's about it. Now, as you can see, I'm getting hit every time I lose HPs, and that's fine.
That was not bad.
But I take 0 damage because I have the protection from fire with 9, which gets added to my armor, which is 15. So you should probably take 1 or 2 points of damage, maybe, if you have Gipat armor.
Whatever you say.
I've upgraded my armor, it's not that much. I think it's 2 points or 3 points more average.
I understand.
Let's kill all these things. You need to kill all of them. Yeah, it's kind of a straightforward quest. There is no clear path towards the queen, so all of these paths are full of Will-o-the-wisps, and that is going to be a problem if you are weak. So you cannot use an assassin build here. You can use a mage.
Yes.
I also found out that fireballs will do a great job of clearing these wisps, especially when you're in groups. Of course, if you are more if you have like the Ingos lance with adamantite ores, you can definitely skip the fireball part. So let's go and kill this thing.
Yes, have at it.
This is pretty much straightforward. You might find more difficulty dealing with the Will-o-the-wisps. You maybe have to stop and heal. It's up to you, depending on what you have.
That was not bad.
I really do not recommend you complete this quest. Unless you are enough powerful, you have enough money to afford a good protection from fire and maybe a wand of continuous healing. A wand of continuous healing should cost around 30k with the spell inside.
Yes.
So you can definitely, you know,
And
do
this
just
is
that.
for you.
Now there is also a way to get a million money. Yes, 1 million money. I did not do that because it's too late for my character to do. But there is a way to do that with a newly created character. With a caveat, you need to complete the missing messenger once with a newly created character. That's not difficult. You just go,
Like it.
you pick up the message, you die, you go back to the city, you
Anything
complete
useful?
the quest. You get like 8,000 experience, and you get
I understand.
between 20 to 50k money. With that, you get some sensory magic, you get fireworks, and then you buy the weekend spell. All right, that's the basic. Once you have done that, you go to the cave, take the invasion from Gepat,
Yes.
and you basically have to avoid the zombies and take one last zombie with you to the palm tree land
I
nearby.
wonder what I will find.
That will until you find the shadow puppet or something like that. It's a semi-bidimensional shadow.
Wait a little.
You cast weaken on the shadow, and you make sure that she hits with the acid fog, which is an AoE spell. She hits the zombie. When she hits the zombie, she becomes hostile toward the zombie, which means that basically now she fights the zombies. You will die, but so will the zombie, because that shadow is really powerful. And you go back, you pick up the zombie, that zombie, and you get back to base, and you got a million money. So that's a pretty. That's the way you cheese this game. Now, also worth mentioning, enemies in the cave are untouchable, at least in the last missions, in the second map, because in the first map they are affordable. They like have 800 HPs, and they have like 145 something attack. But on the last one, oh boy, they have like 2.1k HP and armor that even the best weapon cannot even come close to it. That is bad, and you cannot do that mission unless you cheese, of course, or you bring a party with you have a tank, a healer, and a mage for DPSing the enemies. So they also have an extremely powerful region, absolutely dreadful region. So you know, it's a multiplayer game. It's expected to be the end game content that you go and raid with friends. So that's that. Anything else? No. You need to basically cheese the dragon. The dragons you'll not be able to kill, like ever. You really don't have the damage. I don't know what they were thinking, but you really don't have the damage to kill the dragons. There are like 4 of them. So what you do is you cheese the dragons again, like you do with the million strategy, and you make them aggro the entirety of the map, and eventually they will die. When you complete the mission, you get 500k experience for that, and that's about it.
Yes.
So the Queen of Will-o-the-wisp is that it's very powerful, so keep that in mind.
Whatever
it's
you
very
say.
powerful. You barely hurt her with the Gipat weapons. Again, this is a multiplayer game. This mission is meant to be
Whatever you say.
the end game for Gipat, so enemies are stronger and they have very high armor, so it's meant to be someone you take as a group. This game had quite the MMORPG mentality, so you would have to go with a group of healers, mages, and maybe DPS and tanks. On the other hand, I also made a character which I'm gonna show you later. He has like 560 HPs compared to Mirialis, which has 169. Also, I made some mistakes building Mirialis, like yeah,
Whatever you
some
say.
skill mistakes. I'm gonna say this: backstab is powerful, especially in the
agree.
beginning. But the more I play, the more I find difficult to backstab enemies. Although it's a very powerful form of attack, I find that late game you have to transition into a mage. That's the only way you can break some of the resistances. Now in Suslanger, you can melee the enemies, it's okay. A melee works fine in Suslanger, that's actually very powerful. Especially if you can heal yourself with the wands and the items. I find myself, even with this pitiful amount of health, I find myself
Whatever you
being able
say.
to go against 3 or 4 opponents at once in Suslanger with a spear.
Yes.
So it's very viable, but for the caves and for some missions, like the one with the Cyclops.
I understand.
Ooh, oh, goodness gracious, you need not a spear. And that's the biggest problem. You need an axe. So the majority of the strongest enemies have resistance to piercing. So the spear, although it's the best weapon ever because of the attack bonus and the high damage, some enemies you are not able to one-shot. I could be able to one-shot the Cyclops if I had backstab 3, but I messed up by buying encumbrance, which now, as you can see here, it takes 70k to get backstab to level 3. And that's because I bought encumbrance. If I didn't buy this one and spear, I could get backstab to level 3, spear to level 3, and then encumbrance. But what can you do, eh? The queen is finished. Also, you can back up your save games. 1000 experience. That's all you get. 1000 XP for this boss fight. Totally not worth it. Let's sell this shit. Although this one is very worth. It's worth a lot of money. Alright. We got 8000 experience. What can we do? Nothing. So, that was the Queen Will-o-the-wisps. And I'm gonna show you the... I'm trying to do something similar to Mirialis with this other character. Except that this time we have 25 strength instead of 20. And I sacrifice intelligence to give dexterity. Intelligence is necessary for a caster. And for getting a lot of experience. I wanted to try and make a character similar to Mirialis without the encumbrance, but what can you do? Now, if you look at Wolfengard, he is like that, but let's just say he has a lot of money. I've been playing the Missing Messenger quite a lot of times. Alright? I got 50k experience to distribute, I got health level 3, I have 359. But I'm gonna show you this. If I'm going to take a quest, let's say any quest, the magic pill, yeah, sure, fine. And I'm going into the map. I have a constant strength and wand. Now we have 539 XP, HP. That's a lot of HP. That's a lot of health. So sadly, my intelligence kinda sucks. So. That's that. Anyway, that's everything. If you are interested to know how to complete the Missing Messenger, you can wait until I reach Suslanger with the guides, or you can ask me and I will do one episode. Anyway, that's all I have to show you. Thank you for watching. Take care. Bye bye.